I, I feel like my mental health journey started after I was in an automobile accident. Before the accident, I worked as a nurse in a long-term care facility, was working on my application to finish up my RN degree. My fiance and I had a plan of he was going to work while I went to school, and then he had dreams he wanted to be a forest ranger, and we were going to move back home to North Alabama. And all that was shattered that day by a drunk driver. My fiance was killed in the accident. He had proposed on May the 8th, 2011, and then he died May the 15th. After learning to walk again, after spending 6 months in a wheelchair, I kind of felt like I didn't know who I was anymore. My mom tried numerous times telling me that just something was off, and I kept putting it off and putting it off because of where I lived. There just wasn't much knowledge about mental health, and you go in maybe for a routine checkup, or you have a sinus infection, and you might mention that something's off, or maybe you having racing thoughts, or maybe you're not sleeping well because of nightmares, because that's something that I went through, was a lot of nightmares and a lot of flashbacks. And you hear medical professionals make comments about, oh, you'll get over it, oh, that's normal, man up or woman up, or you're too smart for that, and they just rush you through those appointments, and they don't actually want to get down to the actual cause of things, and they don't want to talk about it. And it's just, well, here, just take this medicine and it'll put you to sleep, or here, just take this and it'll go away. And you don't ever get to understand why that's not normal. Medical professionals can see the physical scars of what you've been through, and they may want to ask about those, follow up on those, but nobody ever wants to touch the mental scars. Nobody wants to ask about them. My accident was in May of 2011, and in August of 2013 was the first time that I walked into the mental health center in my county where I live. My diagnoses include post-traumatic stress disorder and major depressive disorder due to that, and anxiety disorder. I was told by a psychiatrist in 2013 that I had one of the most severe cases of PTSD that he had seen. That was a major turning point for me. I was attending day treatment classes, but I still didn't really believe that I had an issue. I still had that mentality of, it's just what you're told. You go to your regular doctors, or you go and you'll get over it, and that mentality, it gets stuck in the back of your head. Something that's really happened to me on more than once is you find yourself in some kind of medical emergency where you end up having to go to an ER, and you're exposed to a whole new set of nurses or doctors, lab workers. Maybe you're using a different pharmacy, and you have to give this new nurse or new doctor your med list. And you start off with maybe your high blood pressure medicine, and then it's like you get to that point where, do I want to share with them that I'm on an antidepressant? Because the moment you do, the whole atmosphere changes. It's like all of a sudden the reason you came in is no longer important. Your concerns are no longer real, because you get stigmatized into this box of they're mentally ill, they don't know. That's not, this is just all made up. And everything always ends up with a referral to follow up with your counselor, or a referral to the local mental health services. I'm already there. I've been there for years. That's not why I'm here. I've got that part under control. Let's talk about why I'm here. Let's not focus on that part, because that's not what brought me to you. You're my medical professional, not my mental health professional, and we know the difference. I feel like that's something that's really important, especially when you're in a situation where you deal with people in a medical crisis. Just because you have a diagnosis does not make you less of a person, or does not make you an uneducated person. I feel like that's extremely important when you are a medical professional working in those types of environments. So it's a give and take of taking the time to truly listen to each individual person and individualizing how you treat that person. And I feel like that's got lost somewhere along the way